she actually fought to keep Jeremiah 29:11 in there, so that was really cool. And just some other stuff like the director would always like listen to me. So if there was something I didn't like, I could go and talk with him, and he would work it out. Like I remember we were filming the church scene, and people looked like they were at a funeral, and I was like, okay, come on, let's liven this up a little. Because they're just actors; they're not like
Right.
there to praise God. So.
Right, right. Okay. Um, I'm going to stay away from that one, but I mean, obviously it's an amazing movie, incredible story. It's been a little over 10 years since the shark attack. Do you remember much from that day, from that moment, or were you pretty much in shock so much?
Oh yeah, I totally remember it, and but it's cool how God's healed me from the shark attack, and I go surfing and don't even think of sharks most of the time. I'm more like a normal surfer. If the water is murky, then you kind of get a little eerie and creeped out, but yeah, I'm thankful for how I've healed and just able to continue life. And I think in all our lives, we all have our shark attacks or things that are pulling us away from Christ, or whether it's, family dramas or the decisions that you're making that are going to bring you down and pull you away from Christ, substance abuse or, um, abusing sexual relationships, and all these awful things that are not of God are kind of like our shark attacks, and like and I guess where I'm taking this is I believe that God is more than capable to heal us and bring us new life in Him. And He's already paid the greatest price for us. He's already died on the cross for us. And it just takes faith and accepting what He's done, and He can pull you out of whatever situation that you're hurting from and struggling with, and He's right there just waiting for you. So.
I'd like to have you talk about that just a little bit, because obviously the movie showed us a little bit about the dark days you went through. Did you ever feel like you were in a state of depression, or was there a time when you felt like, I don't really know how I could go on? Talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, when I immediately had lost my arm, and it's pretty much a miracle. I lost about 60% of my blood, and I don't know, I think God just kept me alive. And I remember laying in the hospital, and the first time looking down in the hospital and seeing that, like, my arm is gone, and it's really short, and it's not coming back. But at the same time, like, just realizing that and kind of like, yeah, this is awful, but I just had this sense of peace that God was in control. And I think partially it was because I had trust in God, and I had faith in Him. And my mom and I had been praying every day for like 2 weeks prior to losing my arm. Like, Lord, use me. I want to be more than just a surfer. And my surfing career, even at that young age, was like kind of taken off. Like, I was definitely like taking the steps to eventually be one of the best. And but at the same time, I knew that surfing wasn't going to be my fulfillment, and it wasn't going to be the thing that would just fulfill my life. And so my mom was just really great with me. She would spend time reading God's Word and praying with me. And so when the shark attack happened, we just had this sense of peace that, like, God was in control, and He is. He's in control of everything, and He's more than capable of taking whatever is going on and just taking care of it. And but there was definitely times as time went on, like, just feeling depressed, and often it would just be like self-pity or just not being thankful for what God has given me. And all of us struggle with that. We struggle with our selfishness, and we struggle with like lack of gratitude to what God has done for us, and the life He has for us. And it's a shame because there's so much joy when we're in Him and living life with Him.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of the big questions we all ask is why do bad things happen to good people? And when they happen to us, for many of us, it's the end. We think, well, our life is over. Nothing good can ever come from this. For you, it was kind of the beginning where God took your life in a whole new direction. What, looking back on that, you talked about your mom and you praying that prayer for a couple weeks before this event. And could you, after the attack, could you have ever foreseen what God was about to do? And how long did it take to trust Him and what was next?
Yeah, I think kind of just slowly I just built this trust in God and continued to seek Him and read His Word. Because first of all, like God's Word has every answer that we could ever need and more. And so I encourage everyone here to dig into God's Word and just really ask Him for discernment and understanding of His Word because it's full of so much goodness. I'm going to actually read a verse I have here on my phone. And I think like talking on just our struggles, this verse really resonates to me and it's Psalm 73:26. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. And to me that's really encouraging because our flesh and our heart are gonna fail and we're gonna blow it and make mistakes and we may be good people, but with all honesty, we're sinners and we're born sinners and that's why God's given us this way out, this way to that He's died on the cross for our sins and He just wants us to ask Him for forgiveness and ask Him for help and come to a point where it's not about me and it's not about my strength, but it's about Jesus Christ and what He's done for me and for you. And yeah, He can be our portion and our strength.
That's fantastic. I know that you have talked a lot and helped a lot in the area of just self-image for young girls, which culture is constantly telling us how we're supposed to look and that kind of thing. And suddenly something happens to you where you're never going to look the same. How did you work through that? And what do you tell girls struggling with their image?
Yeah, I think that is such a hard issue to talk on, but also easy in a sense because first of all, God loves us just as we are, and beyond that, nothing else really matters.